Good morning. My morning. Um, it's this reading I will be doing. By the way, welcome to my channel. Sorry. Been sleeping kind of late. Lots of things to do. Lots of readings. So that's a good thing. So this reading I'm gonna do is actually something I hardly do, but it's still kind of new too. So I'm kind of experimenting with it. But it looked like it was a success. Um, did a reading on someone's called planetary health chart. Okay, that's what it's called. It's medical astrology. Got a bit into, tiny bit into some evolutionary astrology stuff, and I think a bit of locational as well. But anyways, the point is, it was a lot of details. It went on for about 2 hours or something, or more. Had a lot of fun actually, conversation, all that stuff. Getting to know someone is it's always fun. But that's it. So yeah, so I don't know if I introduced myself, so I keep forgetting. Things are probably, if you notice this, time is becoming less of a, I don't know what it is. Time is going wonky. That's because, of course, it's Pluto is in retrograde, I believe, in Aquarius right now, and its traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, which is about time. And it's conjunct Neptune right now. Both are still retrograde, so there's a disillusion in individual level. Things are shifting. New things. It's in the anaretic, or it's in the new degrees of the early degrees of Aries. As Pam Gregory puts it, it's new things, like new creative impulse, new things. It's the creator's degree, I guess. I forgot what she calls it, but something like that. So yeah, so that makes sense. Time is, well, gravity also is a new thing. I find things, I don't know if people notice this, but I've noticed people have become more, I don't know, I'm becoming more sensitive to things dropping, things like gravity pulling hard, so there's a pull. But it also means like gravity from people, so be careful of those kind of things. But anyways, I digress. So hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming to my channel. Welcome. Again, my name is Jose. I'm a micro-astrologer. I specialize in using asteroids, over 180 asteroids. I use it in all my readings as much as I can, except orrery. Traditional astrology, I don't use anything but what they require. It's just how it is. I like it that way. So that's cool. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the reading. See you guys later. I'll see you after the reading. Thank you. Like it's recording. I think. Let me double check here. Yep. Okay, here we go. So, your question mainly was, what do I need to focus on for my health? All right. Typically, you have an intercepted 6th and 12th house, which is 2 of the 4 houses in astrology tied to health. In medical astrology. So we look at those things because they're intercepted, what happens is they don't have as much of an effect on you physically, and in fact other things too. Like, for example, people with intercepted houses often feel like you don't connect, you're not connecting in that area in their life. So being the 6th and the 12th, it has a lot to do with your workplace, also your any sort of volunteering, any sort of mentorship program that you've been into, or kind of anyone you're mentoring or you being mentored, people you work with, servitudes, any form of service, didn't feel like, you kind of like, I'm not fitting in there. Even spirituality also, because this is a 12. So you didn't really connect with, it's not that you didn't connect, it was a little bit kind of like it's not there. It's almost like it's there, but it's not there. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. It's like
it's not quite the right place.
yeah,
Everything's not quite right.
That's
It's
that's
not
right. And your
like
energy doesn't feel fully there. It's just like you know there's something there, but you can't put your finger on it. You're like,
yes.
yeah. So like, which is actually in a way the good thing. If let's say you were to end up in prison, which is plutonians can be very controlling, you know. But I don't think that would be a problem for you. Not to, sorry, we're adding here humor here because I noticed like, oh, I know that's a very Leo thing. My boyfriend is Leo. He likes to joke around. He's kind of sarcastic in many ways. Not sarcastic, like ironic. He's Scottish. So yeah, so that's I'm adding humor too. So, but I also like humor too. So I do that too. So.
I like dark humor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a Plutonian thing. Yeah, I like dark humor.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Very dark.
Yeah. Do you? So you must like uh zombie movies that are funny. Or have you have you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can do that. Don't Look Up on Netflix was hilarious. And like I think it
Oh,
was like the death of 2020 and 2021. I was like eating popcorn going, this is hilarious.
yeah. I remember seeing that one. I was just like, oh, yeah, that was hilarious. And then, who was it? The
Yes.
one who played so-called Donald Trump. What's her name? A dragon lady from
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. Yes, that's her.
Yes.
Into the future, it's like they wake up, right?
Her old movie was Death Becomes Her with Goldie Hawn. Like I think it was like in the 80s or 90s. That was kind of dark humor,
Was it?
like War of the Roses type.
Oh, I did not. I've
Yeah.
never seen that one. I've seen Overboard.
Yes,
Yeah,
I like that
yeah,
one.
that was funny. And then there's a new version of it. So, anyways, okay, we're gonna keep digressing. We're both Libras, so we're gonna be like enjoying this chitter chatter sort of thing. But that's totally fine. But okay, let me see what we. Okay. I'm lost my train of thought. Okay. Okay.
We were talking about the intercepted houses.
Yes.
They don't
Okay.
connect. I'm like missing a finger. Like I feel like I'm missing something. I can't quite put my finger on it. Right. So like work, I do work in servitude and I do domestic violence advocacy. So I do mentor people of how to better their lives.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Open up a bunch. Okay. First of all, let's take a look at for November 26th. Stated November 26th. So for this day. So what I've seen here is okay. What I've seen here is I'm focusing more on your first house and your eighth house. Um, do you want me to share the file, the picture, the chart?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay, let's see. Hopefully that doesn't move the name away from the spot where it's not being recorded.
And you don't need to share it. We're fine. You can go ahead.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. So, anyways, well, it's gonna be in the recording, anyways. So, as this
Yeah.
is recording, I'll be posting it. You'll see it. Um,
Yes.
okay. So you have first house. I'm seeing here several asteroids, typically four of them in the first house. And there's Echo, there's Ceto, Gaia actually, and Pele. I haven't done research on Ceto. By the way, when I say research, I mean extensive research, and I show this a lot in my channel. I'd like to coin the term micro-astrology because I work with over 180 asteroids, and literally I've done so much research on. This is the Scorpio side coming in, and also a bunch of other stuff too. So there's some asteroids that I put in here, but I could come back to them at another time if you ever have any questions. But what I see so far here is that when it comes to the first house, because this is medical astrology, we're talking about echoes, so things that tend to repeat themselves. I'm gonna double check that here. Okay. And look at my so-called cheat sheet. It's no longer a cheat sheet. It has become like this 800 something page encyclopedia. It's
Yes, I'm sure.
like, Okay, so it could be that. Okay, so when you were younger, and I'm not saying this is true. Okay, I'm just going to use the asteroids quickly here, and then I'm going to go straight into the standard medical astrology portion. Um,
Mhm.
there are several things that could have come up when you were between the ages of 0, so 1 to 8. Um, Echopraxia, which is, I believe, just repetition of sounds or something like that. Echomotism, echolalia, epilepsy, autoimmune system stuff, neurocognitive disorders, brain cells, the mouth, something to do with the mouth, vocal cords, ADD or ADHD, mutism or muteness, speech impediments or delays, aphasia, AAC, dysarthria, dyslalia, vocal cord paresis or vocal fold paralysis, or recurrent laryngeal nerve paralysis. If that resonates with any of you, I can understand why.
Strep throat.
Okay.
I had recurring strep throat
Ah,
during those times,
okay.
right around 8.
Okay. Okay. Ah, so a little bit later. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Now we have the asteroid Gaia here. So this one, something to do with the. I don't know if it was because you were such a young child. I don't think egg cells would be part of this, but it could be. There's something about the uterine wall, placenta, the womb, so maybe something to do with the fertilization process. The mammary glands, fertility stuff. And I don't think postpartum depression is part of this one because that's too early. I don't think so. But I thought I'd just mention that anyways. Uh,
Mhm.
there's also several forms of inflammation. So I'm going to look at this one because this is Pele. She was the goddess, she was the Hawaiian goddess of fire. So inflammation, inflammatory reactions, headaches or migraines, central nervous system, periaqueductal gray part of the brain. I forgot. I think that's the middle part of the brain. The anterior insula, anterior cingulate, and the inferior frontal gyrus. These are all specific parts of the brain. I'm still going to mention some of them though. Dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the orbital frontal cortex, amygdala, and this one's more of a behavioral thing, antisocial personality
Mhm.
disorder.
Okay.
And they're all opposite of Neptune. In fact, your ascendant, which is part of your first house placements, is in Gemini. So there's a lot of stuff to do with the brain. It has a lot to do. Has a lot to do with the, I believe the I don't know if it's a circadian rhythm thing. Let me double check here. Now we go into.
And I'll resonate with the inflammation in central nervous system.
Okay. Ah,
I've worked on the vagus nerve.
okay. Makes sense. It could also be something to do with the sciatic nerve, um,
Mhm.
central nervous system, largely due to under the domain of this polarity. Okay, because it's the Gemini Sagittarius polarity. You have planets in both the asteroids in your first house and then Neptune in the seventh house, which is in Sagittarius. So yeah, what else is with something about Neptune here? Neptune is what's called a dissolver. So Neptune, let's see here. So no sciatica at all. Any atrophy of the hip or leg muscles?
No.
No. Okay, it's okay.
Um,
Okay.
mainly inflammation, central nervous.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Well,
And parts of the brain I wouldn't know. I'd have to look those up.
okay, that's fine. Um,
But I didn't, and I didn't have. There was no fertility, um, and no. I mean, I had to have C sections. That was the only
huh.
thing related to C. That was the only thing. So I've had 3 C sections.
Okay. Let me go back to Gaia. I think I saw something like that. Let me check
In fact, I had a uterine rupture with my last child.
it. Ah, okay. This is still the first house, so usually it's still not. It's not just about that early life when you like when you were a child, but there's also
Mhm.
like throughout your life. Because this the first house always embodies your whole body itself.
Okay, first
So
house.
that can be a lifelong thing. Um, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So no sterilization or anything.
Mm-mm.
No, okay, sorry. It's a little personal, sorry, but
No, that's
okay.
okay.
So as of today, what's happening here is we have Anubis in retrograde transiting your first house. So that usually signifies some sort of trigger. However, because these are asteroids, I don't know how much of an impact they have yet. I haven't done a lot of readings in medical astrology through the asteroids, but I'm just going to name some of the things that might
Okay.
happen with Anubis. But it's in retrograde, so oftentimes it means that there's some sort of focus. Was there something? Was there something happened with the heart? Any heart stuff? Transplants? No. Okay. Any discoloration of the skin?
No.
Okay. Cool. Any birthmarks that come up? Do birthmarks come up, or are they actually just from birth? I think they are just from birth, right?
Well, I don't have any, but my son did have birthmarks
Okay.
that disappeared, right? Like a port of wine stain and then disappeared.
Oh,
So, but
okay.
I didn't have like a port of wine, and then the stork bite. That would be like a birthmark or something that
Okay.
would indicate.
Okay.
But I didn't, or I don't know if I did, right?
That's very interesting. You did mention that. Does your son have any issues with his skin and bones and knees?
He's very no, but he's very sensitive to his skin, like histamine responsive, like a
So the
mosquito, right? And then
inflammation. That makes total sense. Yeah, I can see here. You have all these four asteroids I just mentioned square
mhm,
Saturn. Saturn rules those parts of the body, the skin, the bones, the knees, but specifically through Capricorn. But it's in Virgo, so it's still the it's the let me check it is still the immune system, lymphatics, um,
yes,
sympathetic involuntary nervous system, right? So your son does
yes,
have that. Okay. Okay, I'm just saying. I just thought I'd add that in there. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Um, Oh, that's what I'm seeing here. There's a trine to Pluto, so that means there's sort of toxins. Is there any toxins?
yes.
Did you? Okay, a lot of
I
toxins.
was poisoned. I was poisoned by mold.
Ah, makes sense. Okay, that's part of the Pluto rules the mycelial network, mold, fungi, viruses, bacteria, etc. Those kind of things. Uh, But then when you allow yourself to heal, when you actually put effort into dissolving that stuff, which is Neptune here, it works naturally. You're able to
Yes,
dissolve all those like toxins in your body when especially when you're actually looking into the what do you call this? I guess you're trying to balance everything. It's still tied to Libra when you're trying to balance your pH levels as well. pH levels, the what is it? Adrenal glands, suprarenal glands.
hmm
It's tied to that polarity between Libra and Aries. So that makes total sense. Now, it's sextile to Neptune. So I was like, oh, if she puts her effort into it, which I'm sure you have, it dissolves. It goes away. I love that. Neptune, I love you. Or should I say Poseidon?
yes.
Okay, there you go. Awesome. Any does your son does your son sleepwalk? Sorry, I know this is about you, but I no. Okay.
No, but I did. I did as a child.
That makes sense. Okay.
I did sleepwalk as a child.
That's where Pluto comes in as well. Yeah, that makes sense. I think when you're it was tied to the unconscious, so therefore that totally makes sense why sleepwalking would apply here because it's connected to the sixth house here, even though it is intercepted, meaning it's kind of blocked, but because it's blocked, it's more unconscious. It's even more unconscious. You didn't know you were even doing it, let alone Did people even probably notice it in your household, or only a few people did?
Yes, they noticed it.
Okay, they noticed that. Okay,
Hmm.
okay, okay. Um, I might as well state the other stuff here because you have no, but that's interesting. Why is oh okay? I'm gonna name some of them. Anything with uh, palsy, no palsy, stuff, right? Peculiar disorders of the nervous system and spinal cord, weakened lungs,
Muscular,
uh,
muscular.
peculiar
Did you say
disorders of the nervous system
peculiar?
and spinal cord.
No,
No, if that's okay. Arterial insufficiency or leak.
that would be blood flow.
I think so. Yeah,
I
with
don't
the
know.
heart. Yeah. Well,
No, nothing that I know of.
no, that's okay. No, that's okay. All right. Um, what else am I missing here? Okay, so there's that with Gemini. Now we go into the eighth house, and we have several asteroids here. Near as Circe, Anubis, Terpsichore, Frigga. Okay, I'm going to do one of them one by one. Okay, 1 second here. Okay. So this is more in the house of the eighth house, which is often tied to Scorpio, but it's more psychological in a way than physical, but it is still physical. It's still hell. Um, so something to do with. Okay, let's see because it's in. Oh, it's in literally the cusp of your eighth house is in the cusp of Capricorn, so literally to do with bones. Um, because Njord is here. Letharg.
I do feel like I need to take supplements for like the D plus the K,
Okay.
um, for the like to produce like the avoid osteoporosis. Like I feel like I need to take those types of supplements. D, magnesium,
Mm-hmm.
K. I think I'm forgetting one.
Oh. A.
Hmm?
L-theanine, melatonin. Because I don't know about.
No.
No, it's not insomnia here. No. Um. Mm. There is something to do with the bladder and the kidney, like urine.
Yep.
Okay. Because it is tied to Venus here. Njord is square the sun and also the sun because it's Libra. Okay, yeah. Uh, anything to do with so the heart as well, right? You've had stuff with the heart.
No, I
No.
have
Okay.
not.
So would still watch out for
But
that. I would still watch out for
yes.
that because your sun is in the your vitality. That's what I'm saying. So
Hmm.
that's important. But it's not in the health houses. However, it is square these asteroids in your eighth house. But there are no huge planets in the eighth house. But I would still kind of keep cautious. Be a little cautious, but not like, crazy cautious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, depression. I don't think that applies to
No.
this one. No, no, that's okay. Um, because it's
There is family history for depression.
okay. Okay.
Is it?
Lethargy.
Yes.
No, it's okay.
Yes.
Okay. Um, so there's no selective mutism or anything like that. Okay, that's fine.
No.
Okay, that's fine because it is tied to Capricorn, but it's square your sun here. Okay, so Circe is okay. So the intoxication does apply here. Um,
What is it?
intoxication. It
Intoxication.
could be in any other form of intoxication, not necessarily drinking, but
Right. Like the toxins.
yeah, it could be any form of toxins. Yeah.
Toxins.
So
Yes.
especially watch out for the whole. Check that. Yeah, watch out for toxins in your kidneys area, right? So anything that's
Mhm.
connected to the heart and the kidneys as well. But it is mainly kidneys and also like so basically drinks that you have like because it is between Aries and Libra polarity. Actually, I'm going to specify with Libra here. Your acid alkaline balance. I think you know that, right? Any sort of hormonal
I think
balance
that's
or
I think that's what I need to look into.
okay. Okay. Um, something also with the fallopian tubes. Um, something about rains. I don't know what rains are. REINS. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is
Okay,
either.
probably just take note of that. Distillation and filtration of urine in your ovaries as well. Okay, that's because your Libra, your Venus is in Libra, and that's ovaries. The veins as well.
Veins. And that might have something to do with the heart,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
If it says veins.
yeah, yeah. So basically, the nervous system, circulatory system, both of them, it's really connected actually. If you think about it, the heart, the nervous system, the circulatory system, and the kidneys. So they're pretty much all connected, but it's focusing a lot on the kidney area because it's in Libra. Also, the lumbar region of the back. Watch out for your lumbar region. I think it's kind of lower back.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay. So let's see here. What else did I see? CPR. I don't know if you've ever gone through resuscitation.
No.
No. Okay, that's okay. Anything? Oh, because double check.
Veins is an archaic term for the kidneys or
Oh,
the area in the lower back where they're located.
okay.
And then it says the word is used metaphorically to mean the seat of feelings, passions, and the innermost being.
Okay. Hmm.
So, yes, it's the physical location of the kidneys and the lumbar of the lower back,
Okay.
emotions, affections, and inner self.
When
And the word heart is often used.
hmm.
The kidneys are the seat of those feelings.
Okay. Interesting.
Reins were metaphorically considered to be the seat of emotions, affections, and a person's innermost being or mind.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. That was that helped me. Help me help.
That helped me to understand everything that you were talking about, too, of like a circular, put it together.
Okay. Awesome. That's good. Let's see what else I got here. It's saying that there's something about the cerebellum itself, but this one's uncertain because it's not really tied to those signs in Capricorn or Libra. But I never count anything out. I try not to. I'm also seeing here
Yes.
the genitals and anus, abdomen, neural pathways or neural pathway like the default mode network (DMN), also the amygdala, prefrontal cortex. That's come up twice already. Something about the amygdala.
Pre-
And there's also well, this one applies to me. It's called the attachment style of called the fearful avoidant personality. I've had that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I probably, yeah, I stay away from people.
Oh, okay, no. Okay, then there you go. Oh, well, you
If I
know.
could work from home, I'd be great. Not have to
Oh, I
go
get
out
it.
and
Ah.
yeah. So yeah, I do. I
Although,
like being alone.
although if you worked at home, you're gonna have to start being careful about those hips and the lower back and then the thighs and the butt because you don't want to get sciatica. I have sciatica. It's like a
Yeah,
permanent
I do
cramp.
sit a lot. I
Ah,
sit a lot
so there you
for work. And so you know what that would tie into that area.
go. Okay.
So
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
So I've been
I
doing a
do
lot
have
of
ear.
yeah.
I probably need to do stretches.
Um, yeah, I do this program called. Actually, I don't do the program. I've just followed some of their advice on their YouTube channel. But they've had ads on Facebook, and they're called. They have two names. They're Moves Method, like moves, like move. moves method, or Vanya moves. That's, I think her name is Vanya. She's Australian. Vanja. Vanya. I don't know. And
Hmm.
they do all these things that get back to the way we were, like how farmers work and how they're stretching every part of their body because of the work they do. So not necessarily hard labor, but like, so because yeah, like for example, we're supposed to be squatting apparently as humans, right? So they have a lot of these. Look up their channel on YouTube.
That's funny. I had an intuitive hunch that I needed to start squatting. And I wonder if that's tied in because I was like, I don't want to squat. Why am I thinking about squatting? But it was just
Yeah,
spirit. Spirit said squat. And I'm like, yeah, not doing
yeah.
that. But now that you've mentioned that, that would be that part of the body
Well,
and to strengthen.
yeah, and that totally makes sense because your Mercury is your perception. It's in, it's tied to Pluto. It's actually all four planets. You have a stellium in your fifth house, but because of that, and your heart center is connected to the sun here, with Venus. So basically, you feel it throughout your system, from the mind all the way down to your, all the way down there to your butt. Let's call it that way. But that's Pluto.
Yes.
That is all that stuff. So, and it's tied to Neptune as well. So it totally makes sense why when you perceive things, you perceive them in a very, like you perceive things easily through relationships and people, and also through um, well, basically how you connect with them on a very, like it's almost, it's psychic, but it's more intuitive. It's much higher, and because it's in the fifth house, it's tied to Leo. You have the Leo tendencies of connecting. There's some sort of angelic guidance there too. Sorry, we're going to medical astrology. I know, but that's why
No,
I can see that.
well, and I do, I feel it and I know. And so that's kind of why I avoid people because of it's too, I'm too sensitive,
I know, me
right?
too.
And I do much better now that I understand what to do and how to do. But yes, I mean, I can be in the same room and completely um, have the feeling. And yesterday I had a conversation, and the person, I was very polite, kind, and the person wanted me to, was attached to a different outcome. And so they got very upset that I was matter of fact, provided a solution. This is what we do, move forward. And they did not want to do it. They just wanted a different solution. So they got very upset. And so I came home and I was like, I think I did something, right? Because the reflection, but it wasn't me because I recorded it and I listened to it and I go, oh no, kudos. So, but it opened up a point of view about myself of how sensitive I am because I felt her, all of her range of negative emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And then I brought it onto myself and I was like, I must have done something. And when I went back, I was like, nope, I was nice, kind, polite. And so it often, it opened a different viewpoint for me because I felt all of that. I saw the negative behavior, the negative emotions, and then I thought it was me, and it had nothing to do with me. And so that was very interesting, but it has to do with feeling throughout the whole body. I could sit there and I just know, and I'm like, wish, wish I didn't know that about you, but you don't really need to lie about it, and it's gonna be okay. But yes, I do. I feel the everything.
So I think that does have a, it does have an influence or an impact, somewhat, maybe less now, like you said, on your body as well, because they're all connected. So
Yes.
yeah,
So I took on a lot before. Before I would take on her emotions. And I'd be like,
yeah,
and so now, but again, that affects your body, how you feel, your muscles, your nervous system, right?
mm-hmm.
And so, but now that's much better.
Because I've thought about that myself too. It's just like sometimes you come across certain people and all of a sudden you're just like, I didn't think that. Like you didn't intentionally think this, you didn't intentionally feel this, and all of a sudden you're just getting to some, what's going on here? So I can see why other people's energies sort of, but at the same time, there is a level of, there's a portion in the level of experience we've had that kind of pull us in that direction for a specific reason. That it's almost like a lesson, a reminder that it's like they're mirroring for you. It's like, right? So it's like,
Yes.
Okay, so there must be some sort of refinement process of the learning process, because as we know, we don't repeat lessons. They're just it's like a circle. It's like a what do you call it? Like a this thing that goes like this. We do get better, but it feels like we're repeating the same lessons. No, just refinement. I say.
Yes. Well, and yesterday, and watching her too, it was, the reminders of you got to lose attachment to the outcome, right? She was so, I mean, and wanted it to go a different way that she started to become aggressive. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. That's not my responsibility. What you're asking me to do is your responsibility. And so now I've gotten to the refinement of I understand. One, I recognize in the mirror, I don't want to behave that way. I don't, I want to be nice, kind, happy, right? And then, hey, matter of fact, there's solutions available. So it was very interesting to watch and go through that because I really did a deep dive and I was like, wow, okay. And I was able to meet at the level that I wanted to with regardless of what was happening over there, I remained the monk in the storm and was able to be my true authentic self.
Yeah,
And that I was like
that's that's another Plutonian uh, um, tendencies. Whenever you have Pluto in a chart in astrology, it often signifies things you have to learn, any lessons or things you have to do unaided. That's
unaided.
yes. Remember the story of Pluto, right? Or Hades. He was kicked out. He was betrayed. He was abandoned by his brothers. But he didn't. It was just a perception. But that's what it is. It does feel like betrayal. It feels like those kind of things like abandonment. Very much a lot of the shadow stuff. But Pluto
Yes.
teaches us that because Pluto wants us to learn our true inner power. So genuineness. You like genuine, you appreciate genuine relationships and ways of communicating with people. So if someone says they're happy, you don't want to see like, oh, toxic happiness. No, I mean, are you really happy? If you're not, that's
Yes.
fine.
And then I know if you're not, whether you're telling me. And so
Exactly.
it creates dissonance. So it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
I don't like the surface small talk.
I hate small talk. Although there's a lesson in that too. As Bashar puts it, you find, the gold nugget and everything because there's a reason for that. There's a reason why. I know. But I really don't like small talk. Actually, I don't
What
hate it. I just prefer not to have it now. I still don't.
I prefer to have an intuitive, deep conversation.
Yes,
If I'm not learning something, then okay, what like have a great day.
that's
Time to
fine.
go home and
That's
read.
fine. Yeah. And sometimes I go in that direction too because I do like the simplicity of just simple things like not having to do anything with the brain or feelings or any of that stuff and just being here in the present moment. And for me, that's hugely, immensely, enormously not only comforting, it just brings you back.
Yes, mindfulness and very present.
Yeah,
Yes, I work on them,
yeah. So
to stay right now.
yeah, exactly. This is the only reality right now. Okay,
Yes.
and let's see here. Okay, so we have here Anub. Did I mention Anubis? I did mention
Yes, you
Anubis earlier because
mentioned.
it's transiting your first house, retrograde. But in your own birth chart, um, he represents basically something again to do with the skin. We already talked about that. Pigmentations, um, medical conditions. It's just being general here, but I don't. Okay, specific medical conditions that I got here are rosacea, psoriasis, Graves' disease, lupus, stasis ulcer, Addison's disease, and scleroderma. I don't know what scleroderma is. Um,
Those are all autoimmune
are they?
issues, which
Okay.
ties into the autoimmune and the inflammation.
Ah, okay, makes sense. Okay. So infections as well. Okay. Allergies. Okay.
Yes.
Hives, eczema, contact dermatitis. Uh, so I guess the big one for you, I believe, is a lot to do with. Let me double check here, actually. Sorry. Um, oh yeah, it's tied to your north node. Um, and north node placements often means that there's excess. Um,
Mhm.
and when I say excess, I don't necessarily mean. Let me double check here. Okay, here we go. So it says here one of the three important most pathological points in the natal chart. The others are Saturn and Mars. It's the opposite of the North Node, obviously. Um, uh, it's kind of like where things come out. It's basically it says here. It's the exit point. So anything that comes through is through the North Node, and anything that comes out is through the South Node. But both represent also inherited diseases or inherited conditions. I don't want to keep calling it diseases. Medical astrology
Mhm.
is kind of like sometimes it's kind of like the news when they talk. It's like it's just a matter of fact, but okay. Again, it depends on one's interpretation. But the point is, yeah. So because it's tied to it's in the um, Virgo Pisces polarity. Again, so it is a hugely tied to the ones I mentioned before. What did I say there? Was it the nervous? Sorry. This is why I create cheat sheets instead of looking at books, because I'm like my past lives is tied to Aquarius. I like things quick. Okay, okay. So again, so the immune system, and I'm pretty sure you already know this. Um, the immune system, there are the lymphatics. We talked about that. The sympathetic or involuntary nervous system. Um, it's also tied to the well, okay, yeah, nervous system, just like Gemini, Sagittarius. So both, all three, all four signs represent that system: immune system, nervous system. So the lymph, I guess, lymphatics also means like the lymph nodes, right here, I
Mhm.
think, right. They're somewhere here in the neck.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the flowing of, and that has to do with the toxins. If your lymphatic system is slow, you
Hmm.
can't purge the toxins without help. So, like with the mold, I need to like, you need to do like dry brushing to get the lymphatic system and assist the kidneys with the overload.
Yeah.
So this kind of ties in with toxins and the system. And I've worked a lot on the vagus nerve.
Oh, that's like my dad. Hmm.
Okay, so like I've done a lot of vagus nerve, which would tie into the sympathetic nervous system,
Okay.
right? Like all of the systems regulating. But yes, that's tied in.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay. What else do I have here? Okay, and then we also have the is it done with this one? Oh, sorry. I continue with the placement of Anubis here. Um, we talked about the skin, but so it's good that you're taking care of your skin as well. That's a good one. Um, any burns or anything like that? I don't know if you experienced it later in your life because this is the eighth house. Um,
I did
sunburns.
burn myself with
Oh,
boiling water,
okay,
and yet, well, no, I stay out of the sun actually,
okay.
but like, yeah, I do. I try and maybe that's why I intuitively knew because right, I'm like, I don't know, I'm just no gonna wear long sleeves, pants. I do. I maybe there was an intuitive knowing there with the skin.
Do you have a golf umbrella? I love golf umbrellas. They're huge.
I did just inherit one from somebody, so
I
I just received one.
yeah,
Yes,
because for some reason I heard golf umbrella. I was like, okay. Oh.
or maybe that's what I need. But yes, I do. Like I don't like, if I go to the beach, I have a tent, an umbrella, I have shade with me.
That's fine.
So,
Yeah.
and then, just when I'm going to the water, I'm in the sun. So maybe I think there's an intuitive knowing, and maybe it has to do with the skin,
Because
but
mine,
it's more,
yeah, because mine too. I have the cusp of my sixth house, which is the general house of health, is in Sagittarius. This explains the sciatica. That I need to move my butt, basically. But
I need
majority of
to
that
too.
too, majority of my sixth house placement is actually also in Capricorn, which also rules the skin. So I'm also careful about my skin. But I do have Saturn in Libra too, so that means I'm like, okay. I think you have Saturn in Libra too. Oh, it's
Do I?
Virgo. Oh, okay. What does that often signify? It's little things. It's chronic things with the skin. Usually, Virgo represents little things, so little incidences of if it's an injury or anything like that. Is it tied to Mars? If there's anything with Mars, no, no. Oh, you don't have any planets, major planets squaring Mars. Oh, that's good. That
Is
means,
it?
yeah, because usually Mars represents accidents and inflammation, huge types of inflammation. But it doesn't mean that you don't get it because Mars still transits a birth chart. So Mars often represents inflammation. Like
Mhm.
I see this all the time. It's like watch out for Mars every time it transits inflammation. If it is Jupiter, it's like excess. Kind of like Venus too, but Jupiter is much bigger. Oh, sorry, Jupiter and hold on, yeah, Venus and Jupiter are they're called the benefic planets in traditional astrology. It just means that they give a little too much because they're about comfort and leisure. So for me right now, what's happening with Jupiter is it's affecting me so that I eat a little bit more. So I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
probably should watch out for that. So, anyways,
You're
okay,
like time to fast.
yes, that's right. Let's see here. So okay, so I think that's it for Anubis. Let me keep going. Oh, there are other stuff with Anubis. So I don't know if there's any bleeding, radiation therapy, spider veins, hormonal changes, thermal injuries, toxic exposures, and medication is so general, but yeah. Um,
Okay, so bleeding, radiation, toxic exposures.
yeah.
What else? Hormonal, you
It
said.
says here
Hormonal.
thermal injuries. So
Thermal
again with temperature.
injury.
It doesn't necessarily mean heat. Also could be cold, like freeze, like
Mhm.
what do you call that? What do you call that?
Yep.
Frostbite.
Um, yes.
Okay.
No, none of them.
Okay, that's fine. It's also stuff with joints, elbows, ligaments, the intestines, the esophagus, veins and nerves. We already kind of talked about that. Um,
Yep. With the joints, I feel, like arthritis, inflammation.
okay. The pelvic floor, transitional vertebrae, femoral sheath, hair, and keratin. Hair and
Yep,
keratin.
both of those.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. So there's that. We talked about. Let me see. Sorry, Capricorn. Let me just. So the structural system, it's the skeletal system. Cancer governs the waters of the body, giving it shape. Nutrient absorption. So stuff to do with the skeletal structure mainly. Mucous membranes also to do with the mucous membrane. So I don't know if it's. Hold on. I don't know if you maybe because it's tied to Jupiter here. It's 29 degrees Jupiter, or is it? No, it's tied to the North Node. So it's sometimes when I guess when you were younger, when you kind of, I guess, ate a little too much or were unconscious about what you were eating, did it cause a lot of like unnecessary salivation or it says mucous membrane, so I'm like thinking salivation. I'm not sure. It's interesting.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, it's okay.
Mucous membranes are in the gut and respiratory passages.
Mm-hmm.
The inner linings of the organs, mouth, nose, lungs, and digestive tract. And it protects the body from pathogens.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So absorbing nutrients, digestive enzymes, saliva.
Mm-hmm.
They are continuous with the skin at external openings like the mouth, nose, and ears,
Yeah.
or eyes, mouth, nose, and eyes. So, like, could be dryness, or over salivation, connective tissue.
Because you do, because
Yeah,
you, yeah.
this kind of makes sense, like mucous membranes.
Mm-hmm. But
And
like,
gluten sensitive, that's mucous
yeah.
membranes.
But because you have the Pluto there conjunct, you have the stellium Sun, Venus, Mercury, Pluto. What's happening there is
Mhm.
Pluto is actually getting rid of waste in your life. So in other words, also things that you used to enjoy, you started later going, no, I should probably do that. I shouldn't do that. Yeah, so things are Pluto teaches us that because otherwise, Pluto will say, "Oh, you want to get sick? Here you go." As in toxic, very toxic. Yes.
Yeah, so I do. I pay attention to how my body feels. Like I don't eat gluten. I try and stay away from processed foods, and
Yep.
so
Same here.
I can see. Hmm.
Yep. And it's I've I swear I had a heart murmur when I was a kid. My parents did say it, but then I think they forgot that they told me that. I was like, is this one of those but that's a paradox when you see something like Jiffy or something and then you realize other people don't really
Yeah,
that thing that phenomena. Yeah,
yeah, Mandela effect,
Mandela effect. I
or
swear I thought it was a Mandela effect. I was like, I'm sure you told me I had a heart murmur because it shows up.
you jump timelines.
Yeah, because it showed up in my heart. I was just like, in my chart. Sorry, it showed up in my chart. I was like, that's so weird. Anyways, I'm sure it happened, and that's why I'm careful with my heart because there are times where I still feel sometimes if I'm overexerting myself. You know, as Libras, we're here to learn about. It's a resting sign. It's the complete opposite of Aries. So what it does, it's if it's not careful, it'll behave like Aries, very like get a control kind of thing. But then we're here to learn how to be in that restful state, right? It's very, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if you know much about astrology, like the newer type that's coming in.
Mm-mm.
Did you know that not a lot of astrologers follow this, but I personally believe that Eris, the sister goddess of Aries, or
Mm-hmm.
Mars, basically, it's Aries basically, or Discord, she behaves a lot like Libra. She's like, by your time, you kind of we I don't know if many Libras like necessarily. It's not about. It's the difference between argument and debate. We like
Yes.
debate not because we're right, but because it's like, are you sure? Are you sure? That is so Eris. Eris is the one. She's the goddess who gave the apple. I don't know if you know the story of Eris. She's the one who gave the golden apple to Athena, Aphrodite, and
Ooh.
is it Artemis or is it Hera, one of the three goddesses, and it was Aphrodite who won because of her vanity. So Eris represents his whole, because she wasn't invited to the party as well in Olympus. So she represents his whole, like, I'm going to test things. She also laughs at the dead bodies. That's because she's a high vibration of Pluto. She's like, you, if you want war, go ahead and have war. And that's all she's going to say. And then people realize, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Yeah, golden apple, golden apple. Right? That's what she does. Exactly what Libra does. We love to kind of test the boundaries. This is where Scorpion gets its energy from. They like to poke and prod and see what makes you tick. That is very much, oh, goosebumps, just getting goosebumps, confirmation. Because in the past, in ancient astrology, ancient astrologers and also other people used to believe that the constellation Libra and Scorpio were actually one and the same. So there's a link between the two signs. I don't know if you have friends that are close to you that are Scorpio. I've had. I still do. I have some. My ex-boyfriend is Scorpio. My boyfriend right now, he has eighth house placements. Yeah, we get the Scorpio energy. Right? I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
No, but I resonate with the Aries story.
Ah, there you go. That makes total sense. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, y'all want to duke it out? All right, I'm going to sit and watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So that's Iris. So she's that. She's the modern ruler of Libra today instead of just Venus. Because if you look
Mhm.
at Venus today, I'm just like, yeah, Libra likes comfort, but we're willing to get out of that comfort zone for the sake of relationships. To us, nothing is more important than actual relationships. Even for Plutonian Libras, we genuine relationships, as in we can be ourselves, especially if it's in the sun and the moon placements. We thrive off that energy, genuine. So in turn, in the physical body, that helps us to get out of that gunk, basically. Energetically, psychologically, emotionally, physically, it's all part of the process. Get rid of the shit. Get rid of the shit. Right. So we're also familiar with
That's
shit itself. Like it's okay. We're used to dirt and all that stuff. We don't mind getting dirty. We don't mind. Yeah. And the good thing about this, I find it. I don't know about you, but I find that with Sun Pluto placements, especially in the personal planets like yours, with Mars, with Venus and Mercury, Pluto actually over time heals you. It's almost you become sort of invincible. Is it you become invincible towards like any sort of like bacteria or virus? I don't know if you noticed that because I feel like I don't know. I have to look at where Vesta in your chart is. She's the one who protects. But sorry, I'm saying a lot. Sorry.
no, no, no. This, yeah, I'm definitely doing better the older I get. There's people at work that, they've had COVID 4 times in 1 year, and I'm like, Lord, like four. I'm like, I think you need some more vitamin D and C, man. Like, right? But and paying attention to your body,
Yeah.
and I am healthy, happy, right? And like I do much better. Um,
Yeah.
I do much better now that I'm older. I don't need to like eat the garlic like I used to. And now I'm just go in day out. Not that I don't get sick, I mean, but I rarely have a sick day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doctor's appointments and maintenance, but
Mm.
I mean, I don't think I don't think I've had a sick day. Like,
Mm.
I'm trying to think if I've actually called into work sick in like the last 3 years.
Mm.
I mean, this year, no. And I think it was only like 1 or 2 times. So anyway, but I'm
Oh,
trying to
that's
think
good.
like what you're saying.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's how it is. It sort of it revitalizes when you're young, especially I think when you were a teenager, you got sick more often, right? When you were, I mean, obviously we just talked about that a few minutes ago. You said I don't get as sick as often anymore, but I think is because of the placement in your planets in the fifth house. Fifth house often represents our teen life when we're teenagers.
Mhm.
So that kind of makes sense. Um, I have to go back into the sixth house here and notice that it's in the cusp of your sixth house, but also Scorpio is there. So it's both definitely the kidney area, the excretory systems. So peeing, your genitals, your anus, all that stuff, any of
Mhm.
that stuff, the intestines, all that stuff, it's all connected to that. That's a big one in the sixth house, but also tied to the bones. But the 12th house is tied to Aries because it's connected to Libra. Even though the sixth house and the 12th house, like I said in the beginning, are intercepted here, it's still good to look into things that are tied to that. So it's the um, acidity alkaline balance we talked. I've already mentioned it, but also the
Mhm.
suprarenal glands, adrenal and suprarenal glands. So basically, endocrine system. I believe that's tied to that as well. The endocrine system. So the head part, the top of the head, the eyes as well. Um, because this is also tied to. Is it even tied to Saturn? Well, Saturn rules Capricorn, but in your you have a lot of Capricorn placements in your eighth house. So yes, so the teeth would be part of this one as well.
The teeth.
Yeah, um, teeth and the upper teeth of the upper jaw. So not that not that you need to worry about this. I'm just saying I'm listing all as much as I can. Again, I
Yes.
appreciate bearing with me here.
Yes. No.
Okay. So headaches as well. If you ever get headaches or motor
I used
sensitive,
to.
yeah.
I used to. Yeah.
Okay.
Not so much anymore.
Because it's a 12th house though, because Aries rules your 12th house. I believe that was more something you carried from your family line, or rather through your mother's side, because the 12th house not only represents clandestine activities, places of secret places, secret enemies, hidden talents, and all that stuff, prisons. So basically, like very Pisces energy. The 12th house also represents you being in the womb before birth.
Oh, me in the
Yeah,
womb.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So in vitro processing as you're forming, basically. So anything that's carried through that can be tied to that area of the body. So any again, because it's intercepted, it's not a big deal, but there's a portion in every person's life. I believe this is true. I'm not sure. I haven't checked this one where I'd have to look in your what you call like not the progressions of the planets to your natal chart, but rather the actual chart itself progressed. And that just means that it's going to look like the houses have shifted, right?
Hmm.
Um, but it means that if the houses shift, that means the cusp of every house also shifts. Like for example, my boyfriend, his his eighth house cusp, his eighth house and his second house, because they're every house opposite of each other, pretty much have the same. I think you know this. Okay, good, awesome, thank you. Is um his in 2027, his what's it 2029? The cusp of his eighth house is so it's no longer going to be intercepted. So I'd have to look into that. I think I drew it up. I'm not sure. So if that's the case, what it does is there's this feeling of like a recognition of that area in your life. You're like, that's interesting. Because I talked to him about it. It's like, were there times I looked at certain dates of his life when his eighth house cusp was created a point where that house and the second house were no longer intercepted, so it didn't feel blocked, and he confirmed it. He said, did it at this point in my life. I think I calculated about every 10 years. I don't know if that applies to you as
Hmm.
well. Do you feel like something to do with your health sort of pops up every 10 years? Or is it around that time?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It, like there's a progression. There's a knowing and a release. A knowing and a release.
Okay.
A knowing and a
Okay. So it does.
release.
Okay. Awesome.
Like of a building, right? Okay, I've got that release.
Okay.
Today it's more of Today I can be the monk within the storm, right? It's 0 point, right? And it's not like this.
What did you say? I didn't see it. Sorry, I was looking at you.
Oh,
Not like what?
it's the zero
Ah,
point
yeah,
of
yeah. Okay,
emotions,
got it.
right? Like the Buddhist,
Yes,
the Buddhist monks, and like, releasing attachments, and it is what it is, and non-judgment. And so
makes sense.
I'm very much here. But over time, getting there every 10 years, there's been a new phase of that.
That makes sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go. Awesome. So I feel like maybe it is every 10 years. So, okay, awesome. Uh, so there are some things transiting your eighth house right now. So I mentioned earlier there was Anubis, but there's also, okay, let's go back to your first house, Algira, Aurora, and Iduna. So Iduna represents the skin. That one's kind of a given.
Mhm.
But let's go to Algira. Oh, what is this one? Algira is, I believe she is she was like, I think it's one of the Native American goddesses represented the Milky Way. She's Algira is actually not an asteroid. She's a dwarf planet. She's way out there. So medically speaking, because she's transiting your, as of today, transiting your first house, um, she has a lot to do with REM sleep. I don't know if you've gotten more sleep or less sleep. Let me double check in the chart. So that is 18 degrees. Oh, have you been able to regenerate even more? Or you feel like you can't regenerate even more, but you have to?
Yes.
Okay,
I am focusing on that in my life right now.
okay, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because it's retrograde, so that means usually a retrograde represents focus. It's like this is, don't do anything else, focus on this, right? So it also means
Mhm.
neuro and bioplasticity. So there's something shifting there for you. This could also
I feel,
mean, sorry,
I do feel that.
okay,
Yes, I do feel a neuro and bioplasticity shift
okay.
right now.
Does that include also your skin again? Is it reddish? Have you gotten red skin? Reddish?
No, but I have like, my cheeks look like I have blush on them.
Ah, yes, yes,
Yeah,
I see it.
right? Everybody's like, "Oh, your skin's so great, and are you wearing blush?" No, it's just
There
so.
you
I
go.
mean, maybe that has something to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't, I don't, wouldn't, what do you call that? Yeah, I wouldn't, you think I know how to speak English.
It's,
Sorry, anyways, I wouldn't
it's
discount the whole thing. I wouldn't, you know. Let's see here. Long hair, your hair has been growing, right? It feels like that. Has it been?
I think it could be thicker.
Okay. That's fine.
Very thin.
That's fine. Let's see here. Also, um, thin legs. Are you? I don't know if you're losing muscle mass there, maybe gaining muscle mass. I don't know. Flexibility, joints, the left and or right side of the body. So it could be either. This is Algira, so at least that's what I
Mhm.
did my research on. So, um, what else do we have here? Oh, Aurora. Okay. Aurora is like Eos, where she's about beginnings, starting fresh. But it's mainly also about um, eyelids, alpha waves, circadian rhythm. Again, the sleep thing is coming through. So I don't know, either insomnia or hypersomnia. Something about your circadian rhythm. So sleep cycles and intervals, yawning, grogginess. I don't, comatose doesn't apply here. Numbness, anesthesia. I don't know what this is. ALO. I forgot what that stands for. Oh, no. Age something. But anyways, it's tied to age as well. So age-related conditions, crepuscular behaviorism, and plastic
What is
surgery.
that?
I don't know.
No.
Crepuscular, crepuscular. C
Yes.
R E P U S killer, like muscular except P. Crepuscular. There's something.
Let's look
This
at it.
has something to do with that. So crepuscular behaviorism. I feel like it's something to do with age. Um, okay, I'm gonna keep going. Okay.
Crepuscular behavior is when an animal is most active during twilight,
Ah,
specifically dawn and dusk,
yes.
while resting midday.
Yeah. So it's something to do with the sleep then. So REM sleep as well, probably. So it could be either. But what did I see here? Oh, okay. So it's square Saturn. So if it's square Saturn, maybe because of I don't know if you. I don't know. I feel like there's something to do with fatigue. I don't know if you've ever like.
Yes, fatigue.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay. One another one here is Duna's medicine cures, painkiller medications, salves, balms, ointments, substance dependency, and/or abuse. I don't think that applies here, um, but I think the
No.
medication more more to do with the skin, right? Or little things for the skin. I feel like there's something to do with the skin, or rather,
Like I need to moisturize, and that's age related with my skin.
okay, okay. Again, these are asteroids, so they're not that they are important still, but you never know. I'm just gonna again. I'm also just reading, so thank you for that. Thank you for.
No, yes.
um, okay, transiting your eighth house, you have several asteroids: Ubasti, Medusa, Icarus, Astraea, Sekhmet, Diana, Heimdall, Hybris, and Bennu. That's a lot. Let's start with Ubasti. Ubasti, I believe, is something to do with inflammation again as well. Let me double check here.
Mhm.
Ah, eczema, allergies, headaches. So that whole thing. Immune system. We already mentioned that here. Um, hyperalimentation. Forgot what that is. Alimentation. I'm gonna keep going. Polyphagia or hyperphagia. I don't think eating disorder is part of this at all, so don't worry about that. BED, anorexia, bulimia, nervosa, food eating addictions. Like I don't think so. Uh, oh, maybe fasting. Mm,
I need to fast.
okay. No alcohol poisoning, right?
No,
No. Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying to be negative against. Just, okay.
no, I don't drink.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's good. It's not good for you, anyways. It's alcohol. Is what is that? It's
Poison. Isn't it poison?
yeah, it is. It's basically rotten fruit.
I don't know, but during COVID, everybody had all of their recycle bins full of alcohol. It's very bizarre.
And I learned my lesson 15 years
In my
ago.
20s, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's poison.
It is poison. Yeah. And
Yes.
even my boyfriend says that sometimes he says he sometimes has some. I don't judge him for it. I just say, okay. So he doesn't his because he comes from that background where it's like they kind of drink a bit and they kind of drink a lot and just, so he's learned his lesson. But so he doesn't drink, but he'll have this a little bit. It's like some kind of yeah. Anyways, That's my story. It's
It's
perfect.
interesting. It's just interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And then we go into Medusa here. So I don't know if you have had any sort of, even just a little bit, forms of anxiety. So watch out for that. Any sort of OCD stuff, PTSD, emotional dysregulation, hypervigilance, hypersensitive central nervous system.
I do have that.
Oh, okay. This one obviously doesn't apply to you. It's called the Stoneman disease. I think that's
What's
what it is.
that?
Um, I think it's something to do with the bones like calcifying so much that the
Oh,
muscles calcify and it starts to become, yeah, it's kind of,
mm-hmm.
yeah. No, I don't think it's part of this one anymore. Bone mineralization. No, I don't think so. Okay, let's go into the next section here. Icarus. Icarus, because he's, the boy who flew too close to the sun. Um, the avoidant personality stuff. We talked about that earlier. Ah, this one kind of applies even for me. Extroversion versus introversion. Um, I don't know what exposure therapy is. I don't know if you've ever had that. Oh, exposure therapy, when you get exposed to something so that you become numb to it.
Yes, even allergies have exposure therapy.
Yeah, there you go.
The allergy shots.
Yes, yeah, okay. DNA, inherited DNA stuff. So genetics, mutations, that's part of that. Okay. Um, Astrea. Let's see here. Going back to the OCD things, nocturnal emissions. Sorry, that's what it's showing.
That's
Wet
what it
dreams,
says.
wet dreams.
Oh, no, not here.
Okay, no, no, that's okay. That's okay. Increased testosterone levels, um, or prevention. What is this one? Some kind of prevention. This doesn't apply to you, sir. Vestibular system. Something about the vestibular system. What is the vestibular system? I totally forgot what this. Sorry, I'm a bad medical astrologer.
Vestibular.
System. Yeah. It's just the little things I'm stating right now. Any sort of like, do you feel like you become a little thirsty, more
I do
thirstier than
feel,
before?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I do.
okay. Something about the blood or the blood cells, blood clots, oxygenation and deoxygenation of the blood pressure.
I do have low blood pressure.
Oh, so yeah, hypotension here it says here. Any blood plasma, maybe metabolic waste, heat therapy, acidity or low pH levels, hot breath, um, patella or kneecaps, cartilage, and there's this sesamoid, like sesame, SESA, moid, MOID, bone, sesamoid bone. Again, I forgot what those are for. Um, and
I don't,
I'm not just stating all these things. Everything I do, I tie to the mythology, and for the most part, it does come through. Again, this is, I don't know if you know Pam Gregory. She always says um, astrology is a language of probability. So whatever path we take, right? Quantum physics, infinite possibility. So whatever you took, it didn't lead you to this path. You don't have wet dreams. So that's totally fine. Okay, so there you go. You're doing a good job. Okay.
the sesamoid bones are the small round bones embedded in tendons, often near joints, that act like pulleys to protect tendons and improve muscle efficiency.
Okay. Does that resonate? Would you do that? No?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
possibly.
Okay.
And the largest sesamoid bone is the patella kneecap.
Ah,
The smaller ones are in the hand and feet. So yes,
okay.
I think yeah.
Okay. I do see here also the asteroid Sekhmet. She's Diana. Sorry. Um, she's about the belly, reproductive system, vagina, and hymen. It gets a
Mm-hmm.
little personal, but that's what it is. Um, so Diana is like Artemis, right? So she protects herself. She's very much like a no relationship person. Right? So Diana Artemis,
Yep.
they behave very similarly. Okay.
That's probably me.
Okay. So Heimdall as well. Heimdall, you've probably seen from the movies. He is the movie kind of gets it right, sort of. But Heimdall was about boundaries. Kind of long story, but he's that's
Yep.
why he's a guard, right? But he's basically also about the pineal gland. So I don't know if your pineal gland is sort of being activated, makes sense. Um,
Yes.
the auric field, okay, electromagnetic field from your heart mainly, um, and all parts of the conscious, the unconscious, the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Head, ears, and eyes. Those are the general things about Heimdall. Okay, what else do we have here? Hybris, which is basically hubris, but yes, there's a medical part to him. Um, Cancer cells, uh, cancer carcinogenics, sp2 protein, MICA and MICB molecules, the
Wait,
tol-
what was it?
MIC,
S
MICA and MICB. Those are acronyms, molecules.
and and what was the one right before?
MIC, sp2 protein,
SP
2.
Sam Paul 2 protein.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Okay,
SAM
write
Paul
it
2
down.
protein, that's correct. Yeah. And the telomerase, terminal transferase, or the telomeres. I
Hmm.
knew what those were before. Any
It's
tumor.
at the end of the
Sorry.
DNA.
Ah,
It's at the end of the DNA, and I think it has to do with
yeah.
longevity.
Okay, so there you go. Okay. So, metastasis. So, also apoptosis, which is like blebbing or cell shrinkage, um, nuclear fragmentation, chromatin condensation, DNA fragmentation, mRNA decay, mutations, macrophages, T cells, cerebellum, the heart, self related processing of the prefrontal cortex, cranial magnetic stimulation, dark triad disorder. I don't think that applies to you. You've heard of the dark triad, right?
I really hope not.
Well, there's a Pluto side there, so it's okay. Embrace your dark side, but not. You know what I mean? Like you don't
Not to
become.
the triad.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what else. And last but not least, Bennu. It was the Egyptian god, like the bird, represents kind of like the phoenix. General reproduction and reproductivity, asexuality, that doesn't apply to you. Regeneration, okay, that one's applying right now, I think. A lot of regeneration. Um, no resuscitation, preservation of life, cell preservation of egg cells, cell regeneration, vaginal canal. Okay, I'm just saying those are the ones transiting your eighth house. So,
Hmm.
okay. Let's see here, and we also have core, Follis, and Ixion. Core is rhythm, so I believe he's also tied to this circadian rhythm. Let's double check here. Growth hormones, um, wound healing, scabs, acne, pimples, more of the toxin stuff. So that's a kind of a constant with being a Pluto. Left side of the brain, limbic system. That's the. I think you know this one, right? There's a. It's up here. It's just in
Yeah.
the middle. Oh, you know. Okay. The paraqueductal gray. I think that is the center one between the two and the left, right, and the left brain. I think parietal,
Hold on.
and then
I'm gonna
parietal cortex. Sorry.
I'll be right there. We went to the Science Museum. Frontal lobe.
Uh-huh.
And you said which one?
Um, Sorry, 1 second. Parietal cortex.
Parietal.
Parietal
Yeah, I'm
cortex.
looking. Yeah. Sense. Oh yeah, yeah. It's right here.
Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay.
So it's in the back right and the back left. And it has to do with knows where your body is in 3D space, understanding of dimensions.
Hmm.
Well, that's definitely part of where I'm at in this world. You know, I'm not sure if it's only 3D I'm in.
No, definitely not. Yeah. Did you also find the periaqueductal? Periaqueductal? I don't know how to pronounce that. Periaque, and then duct. Ductal. Quack, quack.
Premotor area, motor. Paries, well, the parietal lobe, right? And the parietal lobe, it says in Latin, paries means wall. So it was parietal what?
Oh,
Parietal lobe.
periaqueductal.
Right.
Gray, not lobe actually. Gray. So I feel like it's somewhere in the middle.
Yep. Probably it's not on here.
Okay, that's fine. And then the prefrontal cortex is here as well. And occipital lobe as well. So both.
Occipital lobe, balance and muscle memory. Well, no, I'm so sorry. Occipital lobe is eyes.
Ah,
Sorry.
that's interesting.
Occipital lobe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need new glasses. And it's age related.
I actually stopped wearing glasses. I don't want to wear glasses because it makes me dizzy. So
Really?
I wear these things that they have holes in them, and
Yep.
it actually helps me see so much better. I don't wear it all day, but it trains the eye not to be lazy. It doesn't depend on the glasses. It forces the eye to use the muscles in there. So
That looks amazing.
yeah, it's definitely gotten better, and I can definitely see from. You know, of course, you don't want to. I don't wear it all day, but I don't really care because you know, I've
That is great.
yeah, Stevie Wonder.
Totally. I love it.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. It's just look it up. Something that looks like this,
Yes.
like fly eyes or insect eyes
Yep.
glasses. I forgot what they're called. This is what
No,
happens.
really.
This is what happens when there's too much
That's,
information. I don't know what it's called. These glasses.
no, that's great.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
Well, and have you heard of Dave Asprey? And biohacking with the yellow and the red lenses. It's supposed to help us too.
Yellow and red lenses.
Yeah, you're supposed to wear the yellow and red lenses, and it helps you with at nighttime and day and your eyes.
That makes
So
sense.
maybe eyes, like in what we were talking about with eyes, maybe that's more of something to look into.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I my eyes. I don't think my eyesight has gotten worse. In fact, it's gotten slightly better. Um, yeah, because I still have my last pair of glasses. I still have them, but when I wore these again, even for like a good 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes after I took them off, I was just like, not just after, but even the day after, I was just like, I kind of feel off.
Yeah.
Because it just, I was like, no.
Nope. Your body's saying not to wear them.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Anyways, okay. Let's see here. Sorry, I feel like I'm sharing things that. No, it'll help. It'll help. Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Are we okay for time? Sorry, I don't want to take too much of your.
Yes, we're okay for time.
Okay. Ixion is a centaur. He was the. He was a, he was the father of the centaurs, which actually he's not a centaur. He's about violations, and the reason he's about violations is because he just wanted to follow what he wanted to do. But then he was under societal like rules of society. Like back in Greek times, ancient Greek times, it was against the law to violate hospitality. So he violated that by I think he killed his uncle or something like that. And then he flirted with Zeus's wife, or Hera, I think. So he did a bunch of things that were. So he was basically cast onto this spinning wheel for eternity. So
Wow.
yeah. So I feel like he's tied to the immune system, which is funny because we just talked about that. So immune system, the reptilian brain further down here, right?
Mhm.
White blood cells, we talked about that. Saliva, look at that, coming back up. Mucus, acidity, so stomach acid. Mucous membranes, okay, it's coming back up. There's a reason why
Mhm.
these things are here, so okay. And also tonsils, the bowels, naturally, yes. And bone marrow. I'm not sure about bladder and medulla of the brain. Those are kind of interesting. Um, endocannabinoids. So simple. I think endocannabinoids are like the drugs you take to that you that are taken internally for things like dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, serotonin, and adrenaline, which then again ties with the Libra placement with Aries. Any involuntary reactions. So have those kind of increased involuntary reactions, sneezing, coughing, farting. You know what I'm saying. Sorry.
No, thank goodness.
Well, breathing is part of that, but I'm saying it's. Let me double check
Uh-huh.
because it is 11 degrees. Oh, it's more to do with Mercury here. Just square Mercury. So something to do with in. I don't know. Do you feel like with the hands? Is there involuntary things with the hands? Oh, with your central nervous system. That is also Mercury. Go back here. Mercury is a nervous planet imparting high strung quality body areas. It's Mercury is able to change the direction and or raise or lower the vibratory rate of the electromagnetic currents moving through the nerves and cells. So it governs the
Hmm.
speed of the neural synapses and how and that and senses and how it's through the nerves. It's kind of like the communication switchboard between the internal and external environment. Less serious than Uranus, if that makes sense, because it's Mercury here. It's squared these asteroids, or rather, centaurs. Um, one, two more here. So Pholus is back to poisoning stuff, toxins, venom, accidents or wounds, venom or poison induced accidents or wounds, hallucinations, scrapes, gashes, cuts, central and lateral amygdala, medial hypothalamic to dorsal sensory nerves. I don't know what that is. Dorsal, so the back, right? So
Mhm.
autonomous nervous system, okay? Reflexes, which kind of ties in with the Mercury there. There, the magnetic field. We
Yeah.
already talked about that. Frontal limbic network posterior cingulate cortex. It's a freaking long one. I totally forgot I wrote this. Frontal limbic network posterior cingulate cortex. Oh my god!
Frontal
Say
limbic
that three times
network
fast.
posterior.
You want me to repeat that? Um, Frontal limbic
Let's see.
network posterior cingulate cortex. Somewhere in the brain. I'm not a biologist. Sorry.
Oh, wait, wait, wait. Communications networking,
Ah, makes sense.
the frontal lobe, executive functions, planning.
Yep. Short term memory, language production.
I do feel like my memory could be improved. I feel like it's blocked.
I don't see. I don't see Nemesis. Nemesine. Nemesine is about the asteroid. She was the goddess of memory. She was actually a Titan. She was not
Wow.
Olympian. Um, I don't see a Nemesine here. So, but your Mercury in Venus often signifies it's because it's air. It's not so much about memory. However, because the Libra energy is more about relationships, um, and Venus is traditional ruler is Venus. There, it's more about you remembering for you has a lot to do more with what you enjoy, what is pleasing to you, what is relationships. Everything that most of the things you probably remember are most likely tied to relationships. Any form of relationship, positive, negative, whatever.
Interesting.
So that's, so I would say I'm going to add something here which I find is very important. I think still today, even though it's medical astrology, we're going into your learning style or learning styles. It's tied to the Cancer energy. So for you, how you learn is best through emotional connection to something. It has to be something that you can also feel like basically something that'll help you feel like it's going to contribute to your sense of safety, your sense of security, sense of even belonging, sense of again emotional
Hmm.
connection, emotional depth. It also fluctuates a lot because it is Cancer, so it's so you don't like something that is constantly when you learn, especially when you were a child, you didn't like things that were just kind of like nah. Too much structure. We're just like, fuck this. No, right. I can swear on my own
Yeah.
channel. I can just say.
Well, no, you know what? I didn't fit into the school system. Like the way that they did, I was like, this is just not. I'm like,
No, no.
I didn't like the traditional school learning environment.
Yeah. and it especially if it was kind of very disconnected, there was no sense of family. If it was more of a community that you were in, where people were real with each other and actually connected at an emotional level, bam, you will absorb. You would have, and you could still absorb so many things. So, anyways,
Yep, ready to go into a kibbutz in Israel or like community housing. I think they have it in like the Netherlands,
ah,
right? Like that would be a great environment for me.
yeah,
Something like yeah,
there you go.
great.
Which is actually ironic because both Canada and the United States have the sun in Cancer.
Ooh.
It's a very two the nations are both Cancer. The only difference, by the way, is that United States the culture is tied. How you would describe the American culture is, astrologically speaking, is because Jupiter is there as well in the seventh house, and the sun is there.
Oh,
So
that makes so sense.
business,
That's
business, business, but also foreign relationships, right? A lot of foreign
mhm.
people coming in, but also becoming one. And that's where the seventh house placement comes in, which is a Libra thing. And Libra likes, just like Eris is actually about absolute inclusion. So if you look at countries like France, China, what do they do with minorities? They don't really recognize them because it's not inclusion. This is a Libra thing. And I don't know, I know what that feels like. Um, But with your placement in Leo, it's open to that sort of creativity with relationships. For me, it's in Cancer. It's also open to that, but it's like, is it because the Pluto is there making us realize, is this what's real? The countries like China and France, they don't have the Pluto placements in the sun. So their culture is not tied to that whole, is this really what it is? Is this really inclusion? You know? Yes.
Mm.
I digress. Okay, anyways.
No, that's
Um,
really great.
let's see here. The last bit of that one is, I already mentioned core there. Okay, good. Um, I actually wanted to go into the other chart. There's something that's happening in 2027. Um, let me double check this one first. Okay, so February 26th actually coming up. This one's coming up. Um, you will be having um, and this is where it just goes back into basic astrology. So the sun will be conjunct your south node, but the north node will be conjunct that too. And what this usually means is that if, actually, let me double check something here before I continue. 1 second. Why did I do this one? Something about Saturn. Why did I mention Saturn there? Strange. Okay.
There's a lot going on in February of 2026.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the first one was in June of this year. So I believe you had. What's going on here? Oh, the nodes. That's what's important because it's important in medical astrology to look at the lunar nodes. Um, so because the south node was conjunct Saturn in June 19th, actually it says here 2025, showing me that there's something to do with the following. Not everything is going to apply here. Okay, I'm just going to list all of them.
Mhm.
Osteoporosis, obviously not, weak teeth, malnutrition, mineral depletion, rickets, insufficient sexual development. Edgar Casey says Saturn rules the gonads. Okay. Bone disease, premature skin wrinkles, weak and blemished skin. Okay, so but these are transits, so I it's important that I mention that. The North Node was in Pisces opposite that. Corns, bunions, foot deformity, arthritis of feet, toxins in blood. That one's probably the cause. That's I don't know if that happened. Lymphatics, cancer, lymphatic swellings, autoimmune diseases, question mark, contagious blood-borne disease. Again, not to be negative, I'm just saying that's what it is. Okay, so thought I'd just bring that up. Again, these are not definite, right? Remember, like
Right.
possibilities, okay. One that's coming up in February 26, 2026, 26, 26, wow, okay, is the sun will be there. So when that happens, that the sun will add some sort of vitality, but because I feel like there's something about the nodes being literally opposite of each other, literally the transiting north node is going to be conjunct your natal south node and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's some sort of switching there. Hold on 1 second. I don't know if you've already noticed. I'm one of those people that likes to apply things right away. Here we go.
That's how we learn.
Yes. Although as a language teacher, I can tell you, not completely. We'll talk about that later. It's a little different with languages. Okay. That's just my thing. Okay. Transit. Okay. Any slower planet transit should. So these are not okay. The transit south node crossing the ascendant. Nope. North node is near the sun. Expect power surge within 3 months of a solar eclipse. Too much energy may enter the physical system and the body parts associated with either the sign, element, or sign polarity of an eclipse. Risk of something to do with the heart, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Eclipses of all types near the natal suns. Because this is not near your natal sun. So, I think it was earlier this year, wasn't it? Even before that. When the north node was opposite your natal sun, was it when it was in first when it was 1 degree Aries. But it's okay. That's fine. That's already passed. You're still here, so that's okay. I don't think so. I feel like the nodes being opposite of each other. I feel like there's something to do with like some sort of balancing. I feel like there's something to do with because the nodes represent exit and entrances, right? So I feel like something's gonna sort of balance out. Don't quote me on this, okay? Again,
There's definitely something going on in February.
February 26th, yeah, around that time,
It,
yeah,
right around that time.
yeah. So, but again, something to do with all those inherited stuff, inherited conditions, family line, all that stuff. So, because it's in your fifth house, it's not really tied to the body, so I don't think it's a huge deal, to be honest. Okay, let me bring that down, and I'm going to open something here. What did I see? Was this with Mercury? Oh, sorry, Uranus? No. Ah, okay. April 6th, 2026 is the actual somewhere around between February 26th and April 2026 and April 6th, 2026 is when the nodes are basically opposite of each other. That's why I put this in here.
Mhm.
Um, oh, okay, that's why I looked at the asteroids close to that. Okay, let's take a look at your south node. So it definitely tied to health. So I would say because we have the asteroid Agla here. I actually just did a reading about Agla earlier. Something about natural beauty. Okay. Um, and Cyrene. Now, on a very basic level, not medical. This probably signifies that people around you, you'll, you might be surrounded by environments or opportunities possibly where you can, I don't know, might look into more natural ways of looking at. I don't know. It's tied to. I keep going back to the medical stuff here. Pisces. Pisces rules the feet, so it's something about the feet. So something more natural, like when it comes to that stuff. But because it's in the nodes of both Pisces and Virgo, it's the feet. And I think earlier I mentioned the lymphatic system. So it's something to do with, yes, the nerves as well. So all the way down to the feet. But
Like,
let's take a look at.
like-
Sorry.
mhm. Well, and like the whole vagus nerve is tied to the whole body.
Yeah. So yeah. Um, but also we have here Cyrene. Um, so she rules the neck, the throat, eyes, ears, vocal cords, heart, reproductive system, skin, hair, and the temporal parietal junction. I think that's the one before the front here. Tempo, Temporoparietal junction, TP.
The temporal lobe is on top.
Okay. So I think,
Rhythm, rhythm of speech, hearing, interpreting facial expressions, smell. It's the senses, speech, hearing, understanding sentences.
okay. Yeah. Oh, now I see another asteroid called Mullo. It was based off of the Celtic god of healing. So there's something, like I said, there's something about the nodes where there's some sort of healing. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's complete healing, but I'm saying there's more healing to be had at that time. Um, so if you experience some sort of like emotional distress from others, usually it's like, if you're picking it up, especially because it's in Pisces, something to watch out for. Any sort of wounds, if you have to patch yourself up with a band-aid or gauze, the eyes come back here again, or that's repeating again. The eyes, healing, of course, again. Healing process. So you might have to go through the healing process itself physically, like homeostasis, inflammation, proliferation, maturation. Okay. It's kind of like running through them right now. And I don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you again. All right. There's Demona. Let's see. Placebo effect. So possibly when it comes to any sort of medication, maybe that might also be part of that because placebo effect isn't just placebo effect, right? Um, any scarring or scar tissue, um, dysfunctional body part or limb, acne, cellulite, stretch marks. The teeth is coming back up again. And deformities in and on the body, that doesn't apply. Dry and dangling skin, varicose veins, sagging or excess skin, larger sagging stomach and or breasts. I think that's me. um, body dysmorphia. I don't think that applies to you.
Uh-huh.
Mm, I don't know what this is. Oh, that's self dysmorphia. Okay, ostracism, distress, or trauma. So I think that's more of an external thing. If you get that outside people, like you want me to repeat that? It says ostracism, distress, or trauma. So it's a good thing that you're not really surrounding yourself with people who crazy people out there.
I will end of February.
You will what?
I will be around people end of February.
Oh,
This ties into the end of February to
okay.
March.
Then there you go. Okay, so watch out for that. Um, let's
Yes, I
see.
must brace.
Artemis. Let's go to Artemis here. Sorry, I heard you. Sorry, I'm just gonna run through this. Sometimes I come off like that. I have moon in Aquarius, right? So I'm insensitive. um,
I'm not judging, and I'm just
I
keeping.
know.
I had no feeling about it whatsoever.
It's okay. I know. Okay, so Artemis, the hypothalamus. So there's something I mentioned hypothalamic something earlier. So something about the hypothalamus. Again, the limbic system, um, hormones and genitals. Um, so something about those, because it is tied. Because you do have your right, the Pluto tied to your Venus and your Sun. There's something to
Mhm.
do with that too. So that totally makes sense why this is coming up now, or it will.
Well, I'm at that age now too with menopause. So that's probably why that keeps coming up.
Okay. Did you know some cultures don't believe in menopause? I was like,
That's great. I don't, I mean, I'm not putting anything into it. I'm going to go forever.
exactly. Okay.
That is really good.
hmm One last thing here with the one for actually this one is dated. I thought this was for next year, but I feel like it does apply. This is very interesting. Um, the asteroid Hebe. She's about the nails, collagen, anything collagens related, the cartilage, bones, tendons, um, the cardiac skeleton of the heart, bone grafts. I'm not saying you're gonna get that. Amino acids. Okay. Uh, fibrillar, non-fibrillar part of the cardiac skeleton. That's that. So cardiac skeleton. ECM, extracellular matrix. I forgot what that means. So something to what to do with the tissue regeneration. So skin again, tissue regeneration. Again, I don't think this applies to you, but artificial skin, the vocal cords. Again, back to the reproductory system, or rather, not reproductive. The Pluto, anus. Sorry. Um, vocal cords. That whole area, vocal cord. There's a huge list here. Yeah, I think that's that one. Yeah. So why did I get two dates? February 26th and then April 6th. There's something about Uranus. Hold on, I thought I saw something with Uranus. Oh, that's in 2027.
April 6th is 2027.
No, April 6th is next year.
That's a significant date in my family.
Oh, okay.
So February and April.
Yeah, February 26th, April 6th.
Yep, both of those are significant dates right now.
Okay.
Strange.
Strange, but yeah, not so strange. But
If
yes,
there's trauma, and if there's trauma around April 6th or during that time, that'll be interesting. Hmm,
interesting.
it could be anything. I'm gonna have to meditate on that. In fact, I think I conceived my son on April 6th of 2016.
Okay. Sorry, 1 second here. What happened here? Okay. Okay, so April. No, this 2027 one is July 12th. And the reason I'm looking at that is because Uranus is already transited into your first house. And oftentimes that means it's the nervous system. So that means, let me double check here. Okay. And because this is the first house, it's going to be extreme. I'm not saying it will be extreme. I'm just saying something to watch out for. Okay. Let's see here. It's to throw off necessary balances and or disturb normal rhythm. Okay. Electricity. So watch out for electricity. I would say. It says when Uranus is afflicted, always consider an electrical disturbance or causative. Sorry, when Uranus is afflicted, meaning in like a hard aspect to planets, always consider an electrical disturbance as causative should the body parts governed by either the birth sign or transiting sign of Uranus be those afflicted. Okay, so it's in. Usually you look at the sign that it's in and also the oppositional sign and also the square. Meaning the signs that are. So in this case, Uranus will be at about 8 degrees Gemini in July 12, 2027, transiting your first house. And again, this is important because this is the whole body. So its square signs will be 8 degrees in Pisces and 8 degrees in Virgo, which actually in your birth chart are your nodes. So that means there's something, it has something to do with, again, anything you've inherited in your family line, which we talked about earlier. How about the whole, what was that? Again, lymphatic system. I keep forgetting that one.
I don't know any family history, so I can't confirm.
The immune system? Is that? Oh, okay, that's fine. So the sympathetic involuntary nervous system. So because it's going to be square that, it's huge. Watch out for again exposure to too much electronic devices. That's usually the thing with Uranus. So kind of staying away from anything that's shocking. Not that you can control that, I know. Thyroid disturbance. There you go. Produces unexpected reverses of balances, spasms, thyroid disturbances, and are undiagnosable conditions related to electromagnetic currents. That's why I said electricity. So, in Gemini, typically that could be any of the following, but again, it depends. Whatever you decide from now until then, it's going to whatever manifest itself. Tremors, neurological disease, spasmodic asthma, schizophrenia, mental illness, asphyxia, nervous bands, stuttering, Tourette syndrome, tinnitus, nervous breakdown, dislocated shoulder, frozen shoulder. I feel like the nervous hands might be a little bit more applicable here because of Mercury here.
Okay.
Because your Mercury is in 10 degrees. It's going to be it's trine aspect to that. So when you're around children or around things that you enjoy, usually like any sort of sports or any sort of physical activity you do, your hands. It's a big one. And Gemini also rules the hands, I believe. Yeah, and the senses. So, but it's trying to Libra. So, even though that will flow with that, um, because of the nodes, because of any sort of inherited stuff, I would say just balance that too. Right? It could be also just little things. I feel like it's little because your North Node is being in Virgo often. Again, Virgo rules the little things. Um, so I don't think it's a huge deal. And your nodes are not in the medical houses. It's just a transiting Saturn, Uranus here just means it's. I think it's something to just keep in mind at least when it comes to electromagnetic currents, yes, electromagnetic currents. Something to
I'll have to look
observe
that
at
up.
least. Yeah.
Mhm.
So remember, it's undiagnosable conditions too. So, but knowing Uranus, the modern ruler of Aquarius, and you have actually, oh, your midheaven is in Aquarius, but that's just more with careers. Um, I guess, trying to think of something here. Oh, Pluto will be in about 6 degrees retrograde 2027, July 12th. So there'll be a way to, I would say, detox yourself from that point. There'll be kind of maybe opportunities for to detox away from the too much exposure to electromagnetic things, like too much technology. I hope that makes sense.
I'm writing it down. I think we all have too much technology now already.
Yeah. Do you have an EMF? Um, well, they say it's not. They say certain products block EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, but or like a gauger, like something that gauges it. I don't know. Do you have one like that?
No, I don't.
Okay. Um, do you use gemstones? I could look up in your chart if you do use gemstones, but you could just tell me now.
Um, no, I have a whole bunch of selenite around the house.
Okay. Do you have what's this one called? Sorry, I should know what it's called. 1 second here. I should just look it up here.
What color is it?
Black. What is this one called?
Tourmaline?
No.
Tourmaline?
Tourmaline, black tourmaline. I think just I don't know. I think that's just general blocking of energy. I wouldn't say necessarily EMF.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me look at this one. There's this website called All Crystals. They have a good. Oh, come on. There's this website I go to. They're very detailed about the information they provide with crystals. Oh, here we go. Okay, I found it. So if I look up
Which one's your favorite website?
allcrystals.com, let me EMF. Capital. No? Oh, shungite. That's the one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Shungite.
have shungite.
Yeah. There's another one called the type of garnet. Let me look it up here. I think it's called melanite garnet. Yeah, that's correct. It can be used to aid in detoxing from harmful substances, thoughts, emotions, patterns, illness, and even energetic pollutants such as EMFs.
Great,
Melanite.
I wrote it.
Melanite. Melanite. Melanite garnet. I'm wearing it right now, actually, too.
Are you?
Yeah. Um, it it's pretty much black, but it has a sort of a tinge of maroon in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has a maroon, reddish maroon inside. You can, if you look at it through the light, it has that a little bit.
You can see.
Yeah, and shungite. Oh, and also lepidolite.
Lepidolite?
L e lepid Lepidolite. That also apparently good for blocking. I think it's lepidolite. Let me double check for you. Yes, protects from EMF. That's correct. Yeah. From allcrystals.com. Make sure it's HTTPS, by the way. There's two websites I just saw. It's like one is HTTP, the other one's HTTPS. I don't know why.
Interesting.
So there's three, I would say. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I see it. I'm looking up lepidolite.
Shungite absorbs a lot, so you always have to cleanse it. Water and or moonlight. I would do both. I always wear it. Like I have different versions. I have a raw one. I have different shapes. I wear one for each day. It's just I don't.
Really?
Yeah. But again, it doesn't mean that it completely blocks EMF. I'm just saying it reduces it at very
Right.
least. There are products out there that have claimed that there's ones that you attach to the phone. So literally like you stick it to the phone and it blocks everything. And it's like, okay. So,
No, that's good.
but the best way is always, turn off your phone, disconnect the wireless, all that stuff, disconnect the Ethernet cable from the laptop, um, or any sort of devices before you go to bed. Just keep it away from yourself. Go out more in nature, of course, because you want to ground yourself. You want nature. You want the earth to absorb any of that toxic stuff. Bare feet, of course. Living
Yep.
in the city is
Ground.
kind of hard. Like for me right now, it just the ground is so cold. I'm like, I can't.
Right.
Well, I don't mind the cold. It's just that it's not. I don't think it's. I don't know. Maybe I could. I should probably try. I don't know. So that's July 12th, 2027. So
I can see how the EMFs could cause a problem, especially if you're sensitive, and I'm sensitive.
hmm,
So I can, people, you can't see it. So how do you know, right? It could creep up on you.
yeah, that's right.
That's good to know in the shungite. Good reminder.
Okay. I don't know if I should mention this. Cleopatra. What is going on with Cleopatra here? Cleopatra is opposite of Uranus, but that's your birth chart, Cleopatra in your birth chart. If it's opposite of Uranus, let's just take a look. Muscle contraction. Um,
Yes.
Something about the belly button or navel. Um, Might as well put it in there. Your Y DNA or your mtDNA. So mitochondrial DNA or the Y chromosome DNA. Something about that. I don't know what it is. Could be because it's in the seventh house. There's something to do with relationships. There's something about more on. Let me double check the chart. The series here. Series in astrology often represents epigenetics. So, let's see. Well, it's tied to the transiting north and south node. Where is it? Hold on, double check. Yeah, it is. Hmm. I know, but definitely if it's muscle contraction, I would say something to do again because it's in Sagittarius. So watch out for the thigh area, lower back, mostly the butt area to the sciatic nerves, just there. And so if you're going back to meeting people again, I would say even reduce the whole sitting down even more at this point.
Okay.
I think that's what I got. So as far as I'm thinking of, it's more about the things that I mentioned earlier in the beginning. I tried focusing on that. Oh, I totally didn't see this one. Isis. Okay, this goes back to the immune system, DNA, RNA, your heart. Something about tear ducts as well. Not sure about tear ducts, but maybe write that down too.
Yeah.
Sappho, it's in the eighth house. This is just for your birth chart itself. Okay. Again, the amygdala keeps coming up again. X chromosome. And then a bunch of stuff here. I totally forgot I had information on the fucose mutarotace gene. Um, you know what? I totally forgot that I could just copy and paste it here. I think I can copy and paste it here in the messages. Yeah, I can. There you go.
That one I can't spell. Fuctose mutatos.
Those two things. And then this one. I added something else. And then the last one. I promise.
No, you're good. Thank you so much for all of your.
Thank you. Egg cells, libido, gonads. That's one thing. The gonads came earlier. I believe there was something about Saturn there. Or was it?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, if anything, you can always just come back and then come back to me if you have any questions about these things. I mean, it's one thing to say, "Oh, I like to practice," and then it's another thing to say, "You gave me the wrong information." I'm
Well, no,
like,
it's a
"I'm sorry."
lot. It, it's a lot.
Oh, okay.
just doing readings, reading everything, piecing it together.
Okay, awesome.
My tarot readings have been on right now.
Oh,
Spot on
cool.
with everybody.
Are you work? So I think you told me that you are working on tarot, like you're.
I'm practicing, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were making your
Then,
own set. Oh, okay. Yeah.
oh, I wish I could.
I was thinking of doing
But
something like that. But okay, keep going. Sorry, you were going to say something else.
yes, no, I'm not, I don't have the time to sit and be that creative as much as I would like to. But yes, so I've been practicing there. It's funny. I think I finally, yeah, spot on. I'm like, you want a reading? I need to practice.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
And
I've been kind of wondering about it myself. But you okay? So what I'm gonna do is
I'm not, I'm not as good.
so I'm
Yes.
gonna do is I'm gonna end it here, and then that way, if you have any questions after, we'll do that. So for the sake of the reading and the channel, thank you very much, people. Thank you for watching. Have a
Thank
good day.
you.
Okay, bye. And then I'm gonna stop it here. Bye. All right. So thank you. It's -8 degrees today. It's kind of cold. Um, kind of cold for a lot of people. It's really cold. For me, it's kind of cold. It's not that cold. But anyways, uh, um, I hope you enjoyed that reading. That was fun for me. So much fun. Going to the details of medical astrology. Medical astrology is very factual, I find, instead of the actual interpretation of things. But that's still okay. It still helps people, and I don't do it that often. Not a lot of people ask about their medical health charts. A little side note, though, that when you do medical astrology, remember this is you're not you do not rely on what exactly everything that's read because there's infinite possibilities, right? Quantum physics, infinite possibilities. Ant-Man, right? Whatever choice you make now will result in a different reality in the next second, in the next second, in the next second. So you're a different person every single second, every choice you make, every word you say, every thought you make. It's that thing. It's right. So in that case, when it comes to medical astrology, do consult your own doctor, your physician, family physician, okay, any doctor. If you're already having that stuff, uh, medical astrology is just kind of really just inform you, not to make a decision about anything, but if you do, medical astrology is kind of serious. It's someone's body, right? So just letting you know. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. See you guys later. Hope if you like the video, like and subscribe. Comments and questions if you have any below. I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching again. Bye.